You ever had one of those weekends where you swear the universe just picks your family as the main character in some twisted HOA drama you never auditioned for? Well, buckle up, because the woman who tried to kick my kids off our own lakefront ended up having to pay me every single month just to use the road past my front porch. Yeah, I didn't see that coming either. But if you think this is your average Karen neighbor story, keep listening, because what I uncovered flipped our whole lives upside down and sent a chill through our little lakeside paradise. So last June, my wife Emily and I, plus our two daughters, inherited my granddad's lake cabin, one of those postcard-perfect places you dream about when city life gets to be too much. 3 hours out from the city, down a winding gravel road lined with massive old oaks there, it was our own slice of heaven. Grandpa had always said this was a place to rest, recharge, and remember what family is supposed to feel like. First afternoon, we're still unloading groceries when there's a sharp knock at the door. Enter Brenda. Early 50s haircut, so precise it probably gets tuned up weekly, with the kind of smile that sets off every warning bell in your head if you've ever met a power-tripping middle manager. I'm Brenda, HOA president. Welcome to our wonderful community, all force cheer and clipboard energy. She barely sipped her iced tea before scanning every inch of our living room trash can, welcome mat car parked a couple inches off straight, and then handed us a 47-page booklet titled Community Guidelines. I thought, this is a 12-house lake neighborhood, not the Pentagon. What could possibly need 47 pages of rules? Emily's got good instincts and caught the weird vibe right away. But we were still hopeful. Maybe she was just being thorough. That hope lasted until 9 a.m. the next morning. First email, subject line: Violation notice number 001. Trash can left outside 30 minutes past pickup. $25 fine. I kid you not. By noon, another email. Welcome mat color non-compliant. $50 fine. By 2 p.m., a new low. Children's laughter exceeds permitted decibel levels during quiet hours. $75 fine. Yeah. My kids' giggles cost us $75. By nightfall, we'd racked up $340 in fines, including crimes like garage misalignment and improper window blinds. All in the first 24 hours. I walked the neighborhood, thinking maybe we're missing something, but everyone else had trash cans out, rainbow mats, music blasting. This wasn't about rules, this was personal. And if you've ever dealt with HOA nonsense, you know how quickly petty can turn into I can't sleep at night stress. It all came to a head when we came back from groceries and found Brenda blocking the gravel road in her SUV phone, out glaring at my family like we were trespassers. She didn't even try to whisper 911, yes, there's a threatening man with children. I'm scared for my life. My oldest daughter, bless her, just wanted to go fishing. Daddy, what did we do wrong? That one stung. I knew Brenda was itching for me to snap so she could record it and make me the villain. 10 minutes later, a cop showed up. Brenda turned on the waterworks, shaking hands. He's been threatening me all week. The officer looked tired enough to want to retire on the spot. He checked my ID, looked at Brenda, looked at me, and finally just said, "This is a civil dispute. Work it out with the HOA," and drove off, leaving my family sobbing in the car, feeling like criminals in our own home. I knew something deeper was up, so I went to the one person who'd seen it all, old. Mr. Peterson, retired lawyer, lived on the next lot for decades. I laid out what was happening and asked if I was losing my mind. He just shook his head and told me something that stopped me cold. Every few years, Brenda picks a family, hits them with violations until they leave, and then just like that, they disappear. I asked if he meant they sell and move. Yep, always below market. Then their house gets bought up cheap by a company tied to Brenda's brother-in-law. Happens again and again. Peterson never spoke up, afraid he'd be next. But he said, you've got what the others didn't prove, it's not random. And if you can prove a pattern, you can fight back. That night, I started digging through county records, Emily right there with me. The pattern was obvious. Martinez family, Thompson family, Mitchells, all forced out after dozens of violations, sold their homes for a song, and every time a company called Midlake Properties LLC bought them up, owner Marcus Webb, Brenda's brother-in-law. The whole scam was laid out in plain sight if you knew where to look. Emily found the final smoking gun, a Christmas party pic, online. Brenda and Marcus arms around each other, the caption, "Couldn't do this without my sister-in-law, our HOA queen." My stomach turned. We'd stumbled on a racket dressed up as community management. Emily said it best. "She's not just a Karen with too much time. She's a criminal mastermind." I printed out everything, 31 pages of record sale prices, social media screenshots. It was fraud, plain and simple. They'd already skimmed hundreds of thousands from our neighbors, and we were next on their hit list. Peterson, when he saw our evidence, almost cried. "Son, you have enough here to get the county, the state, and the feds involved. But there's one more thing, documentation. Your granddad was the kind to keep every receipt and record. Check the attic for the original property survey." So we did. Sure enough, in a dusty old box, we found a yellowed survey from 1987, stamped and notarized, proving that the gravel road everyone used was actually private, owned by my family trust, not the HOA. And in Grandpa's handwriting, a note, "Ryan, if you're ever in trouble with the neighbors, remember, this road is yours. Never let anyone take what's rightfully your family's." That was the game changer. Next day, Emily and I drove to the county office, sat with a clerk named Sarah, who, after layering our ancient survey over current GIS maps, nearly fell out of her chair. "Sir, ma'am, the HOA doesn't own this road. Your trust does. They've been enforcing rules on something that's not even theirs." We walked out with official copies and grins so wide they hurt. First thing we did, called a fence company. By 4 p.m., we had a gate across our road. Brenda came stomping over, face red, yelling, "You can't do this." Emily just held up the paperwork, cool as ice. "Actually, we can. The county says so." The whole neighborhood gathered, phones out, whispering. For the first time, Brenda was speechless. That night was the first peaceful one we'd had since moving in. Of course, it wasn't over. 2 days later, I get a call from her attorney. "My client would like to offer you $25,000 for a permanent easement." Not bad, but after what she put us through, we held off. Peterson convinced us to get a full survey before agreeing to anything. Turns out Brenda had built her fancy sunroom and half her garage on our land. No permits, no permission. That meant we could demand she tear it all down, which would cost over $100K, or charge her rent. So in the next meeting, I laid out our terms: public resignation from the HOA, dissolution of their crooked company, $12,000 in fees, a public apology, and my favorite part, $500 a month for the sunroom and $1 for road access. Brenda called me in tears. Turns out her late husband's gambling debts pushed her into this mess, but she admitted everything and accepted every demand. We recorded the whole thing for legal protection. Fast forward 3 months, and our world is flipped for the better. A new sane HOA president, real community events. Martinez and Thompson families returned, neighborhood BBQs came back, kids actually laughing without risking fines. Every first of the month, Brenda pays her $501 rent. She drives past, quiet and respectful, and I raise my coffee mug in silent thanks that justice for once landed where it should. People always ask if I feel bad about charging her rent. Honestly, not for a second. What she did to us and to other families was unforgivable. But her monthly payments are a reminder that what goes around really does come back one way or another. So if you ever find yourself up against an HOA tyrant, remember, document everything. Know your rights and don't underestimate what an old family deed can do. The best revenge isn't just getting even, it's getting paid every month by the very person who tried to ruin your life. And hey, I'd love to know what you think. Did justice win out, or do you see it differently? Drop your thoughts below, because in this story, the line between right and wrong is never as simple as it seems.